What's up, guys? Yusuf here to discuss one of the best films of 2018 so far, A Quiet Place. This video in particular breaks down the ending and any hidden themes or messages left at the end of the film. So let's go ahead and dive right into that. For those of you that have seen the film, I think it's best to start at the scene when Emily Blunt's character Evelyn is about to give birth to her newborn child. So earlier in the film, Lee says to Marcus at the river that since the river is loud, their small noises that they're making cannot be heard. But if something is louder than the river, then they will be attracted to that noise, bringing that concept into the film very early on. So when Evelyn is in excruciating pain in the tub and about to scream as the creature approaches and is literally right behind her, Lee has Marcus fire off one of the creature distraction systems that they have on the farm, which is full of fireworks, drawing the creatures out of the house and away from Evelyn. After tripping the system, Marcus begins to head back home when he hears the cornfield around him rustling, causing him to get scared and go to hide under a tractor. Reagan, who is back on the farm now after visiting Bo's grave, notices a flashlight, the same one that Marcus had with him, laying next to the tractor. A creature begins to approach her, but of course, due to her being deaf, she cannot hear it. As it begins to get closer and closer, the makeshift hearing aid that her father made begins to give off interference and tone signal, revealing the creature's weakness, but to no one's knowledge, of course. Fast forward about 10 minutes and Marcus and Reagan are trapped in the corn silo along with the creature, and once again, her hearing aid causes the creature to flee, still to no one's knowledge. After reuniting with the kids, Lee tries to get them back to the house, but one of the creatures knocks Lee out as the kids are trying to run to the broken down truck that we saw earlier in the movie. Once inside, Reagan turns her hearing aid off due to discomfort, causing the tone to cease. With the creature's attention now on the kids inside the car, Lee gets up and chooses to sacrifice himself for his children's safety, signing to Reagan, "I love you. I love you." Something that Marcus told his father he never said to her enough. This relates back to the fact that Reagan feels fully responsible for the death of their younger brother, Bo, since she was the one that gave him the toy after her father told him no. Of course, this is the scene that we see in the trailers, but of course we don't know how that scene ends, and after seeing the movie, we know that Bo does not make it out of that scene at all. But it's funny because even before it was even mentioned in that movie, in that scene specifically, there was this weird relationship, at least that I felt, between Lee and Reagan. Now, obviously, I knew that that was his daughter, but also felt that there was no reason for her to be like bratty. You know, it's like I felt like she was being bratty at first when he was just trying to help her with the hearing aid, especially with the world that they were in. It's like there's really no need for that. But when you really look at it, it's because she feels that he treats her differently and that she feels that he sees her responsible. Because even if he wants to admit it or not, there's nothing wrong in him feeling that way, because it is, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I felt that he should have given him the toy, but that's a whole different discussion later. Should have just given him the toy without the batteries. Anyway, after signing "I love you," Lee yells and draws the creature from the truck, allowing the kids to escape with the truck in neutral downhill and back to the house where Evelyn is waiting for them, as Reagan sadly watches her father die at the hands of the creature. Jump ahead another 5 minutes, and now the remaining family is in the basement. Evelyn with a shotgun pointed right at the creature, and with Reagan right behind her. And of course, Marcus holding the newborn baby off in the corner, trying to keep it calm and keep the baby from crying. What you have to notice throughout the movie is that the creatures themselves, aside from, just being creatures that rely on sound, they themselves seem to give off some form of natural interference. Whenever they are close to lights, the lights flicker. And in the basement, all of the security TVs are giving off white noise and static, annoying the creatures, not to the same level of the hearing aid, but annoying them enough that they decide to attack the television. Reagan notices this and then tries to piece it all together by looking at the old models of the hearing aids that her father tried to design for her. She reaches to turn her hearing aid on, causing the creature to become heavily irritated annoyed, in pain. It seems like it's more like an excruciating headache, if anything, because the tone itself doesn't actually kill the creatures. It just highly irritates them to the point that they can't pass out. The creature raises back up, and then Evelyn shoots it right in the head. So obviously, weapons still are necessary in fighting the creatures. That also goes to show that the creatures themselves aren't invincible. It's just the fact that you can't fight them without attracting others. You know what I mean? You can't shoot them. You can't really fight them because any sound and others will be approaching. So that's where the disadvantage was. But, you know, now having this tone, maybe we can take Earth back. Yay? I don't know. The film ends on a surprisingly open-ended note. After killing the creature, Evelyn looks at the TV screens that are now working, and she sees that there are 2, maybe 4 other creatures approaching the house rapidly. Reagan turns to the microphone that is connected to the radio that Lee uses to try to communicate with the outside world from earlier in the film. She turns the volume all the way up, places her hearing aid on the microphone as the camera zooms in to Emily Blunt cocking the shotgun with one hand like the badass that she is, proving that she is ready to take on all of these creatures single-handedly. Not at all, but I think it would be pretty cool if they did a sequel, it'd be like an action style instead of like horror thriller. Sort of just like what Aliens did with their movies. I think that would be a pretty cool way to take things if they did decide to spin off into a franchise, but we'll just have to wait and see. So that was our ending explain video for A Quiet Place, guys. Go ahead and hop in the comments and let me know, what did you think about the ending to the film? And I'm curious to know your thoughts about the film overall as a whole. So go ahead and leave those thoughts down in the comment section below. Also, if you have not already, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button along with the bell so you guys can get notified when Hybrid Network posts new daily content.
Thank you guys again for checking this video out. If you want to get even more updates from us, check out our social media platforms, our website for news and editorials, and if you want to see our content improve and help us out, donate to us on our Patreon and you can get exclusive rewards.